So here is my first try at a corn cob pen blank. We'll be checking back and see how it goes. Okay, so we have this rough down, and I can tell you real quick, you can see the fine debris, well, more better down here. It looks a lot like pepper or something. And it's very grainy and flies all over the place. There's no way you'd want to be trying to do this without at least eye protection, maybe face protection. And then there's something else I figured on happening a little bit. You can see how easily it is notching out. And I figured something that's probably going to happen anyway, no matter what you do. So you definitely want to make sure you have the right speed, probably faster than slower, to make sure that that doesn't chip out any more than needed. And of course, the next thing I'm going to do is use some of that debris around here to patch any holes if they do go too deep. Okay, so we're progressing on this corn cob, and this back part I'm real happy with, like it. I have to say the front part I'm not thrilled with, or the front end. You can see right here this is actually gouged here, and over here you can see my mandrel through the center of it. So I'm going to super glue that back together using this debris on my table, and we're going to see about patching this up. But all said and done, it's still going to have all this dark black across here, and then this on the other side. So I'm not sure this is going to work out at all. I'm going to patch it and see what I can come up with just for the fun of it, for the sake of this video. And maybe you'll be able to make a better choice if you want to do a corn cob blank as well. So here we go. We'll patch it up and see what comes of it. So here we are. We're just about turned down to size. You've got the top down, bottom is close to the ring. Need to bring that down a bit, but again, we're dealing with the hardening material that was fed into the corn cob here is showing through 100%. Corn cob is almost gone on one whole side of the pen. I don't know if people would like that or not, but really I want to address these cracks. Now, these cracks are totally fixable. We have all this debris to work from down here. So I'm going to feed super glue into that and cover that brass up. I called the mandrel earlier, but anyway, we're going to cover that brass up with this debris. And there's big enough cracks, maybe it's going to give us a little bit of a different pattern. So again, we'll see. We'll keep you updated. So I fed super glue into the cracks. Patted that down to get the air out. Now I'll use some hardener here to dry it out real quick. I should say some accelerator. That should get it all dry. Now I'll turn that down and see how it looks. So this is after my first attempt. You can see there's still plenty of big cracks. It is looking a little bit better down here in the end. The original spot down this end is pretty good. You could maybe use some more, but overall you can see it's going to take a lot more filling in. So we'll see how it goes. So here we are, the final on this corn cob pen, and you can see the cracks are nothing like they used to be by just simply putting the dust down into the cracks and then put some thin glue in there. I was able to fill them in. There's a few more spots that can easily be filled in, but I have sunk enough time into this blank, I'm going to put it aside. I just can't get that to look any better. The base, the top part of the pen rather, came out just fine. You can see where it's starting to get thin there as well. So my recommendation, and what I'll do in the future, is I'll manipulate where I drill the hole a little more carefully to make sure I hit center. The other thing about this pen, and maybe I chose too small of a pen, maybe a cigar or a thicker type pen is what's needed for a corn cob. That would have kept it out of this medium and into the actual corn itself. So that's something else to keep in mind, is that if you go to a smaller pen, and this is not really relatively small, this is definitely not a slimline, it's actually Americana is the style. So if you search Americana, you should be able to find it. So it's definitely not one of the small ones, but it's definitely too small for a corn cob. That, or maybe just being my first corn cob, this was a bad blank from the start. We'll see. But that's it for this one. Have a good one.